We are here. We are live. Welcome to Prose Poetry Party 8. This is the 8th year we've done this. The first 6 we did at Cornelia Street Cafe. In fact, number 6 was the last show we did at Cornelia Street Cafe. It's kind of bittersweet, but it was nice that we did that there. And then last year we were at La Poisson Rouge. We moved in there with ease, and they looked after us, and we had a wonderful crowd. And now we've got a wonderful crowd here too, I'm sure. So we're gonna enjoy this evening.
It's gonna be great
and fun. So many great readers tonight. All Three Rooms Press authors and artists, and our
poets,
poets,
authors. It's going to be incredible. We have 23 incredible readers, writers, and poets. And what are we going to kick it off with? Do you want to kick it off with a recipe, drink recipe?
Our drink recipe is we've got
it looks like
White Russians. White Russians that are blended for the dude who needs our help.
Right.
What I like to do is put in about 3/4 of a blender of ice. Then we got 2 parts vodka, or 3 parts vodka out of 6. 3 parts vodka, 2 parts Kahlua, a little milk, 1 part, and then your ice is 3/4. Blend that baby up, and you're going to be fine. Look at us.
And what I like to do,
are we not?
What I like to do is drink. So there we go.
We've got a little left in the blender.
Everybody coming here today.
So we're going to pour.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for please staying.
We're going to be giving away some
pandemic.
books. We're going to give away some books. We're going to give away all our books from this year. We've got Faking of the President. We've got Ray by Ray. Nika Ray will be with us tonight. We've got Rishabh Bora, The Door to Inferno. We got Scavenger. We've got Loudmouth. These are all our books of this year.
Plus 2 new cover reveals. You'll see
spring ARCs we're going to be giving away. Far Away from Close to Home and Narcissus Nobody. So we've got 7 books to give away.
Right.
So when we announce a book giveaway, we want you to sign and say hello here on the side, and you will be.
And tonight, because it's our Prose Poetry Party, we are not selling anything. It's only there for you to hear and listen and enjoy
give away
and win books. So enjoy, and let's get started with our first reader. What do you say,
Who's
Peter?
our first reader, Kat?
I think that would be our favorite Karen Hildebrand.
Karen Hildebrand is right here.
We've
worked with her on many projects and know her for many years, going back to San Francisco. So
right, we go back quite a ways. And
hello, Karen.
And there you are. Here's Cowan.
How are you?
Can we hear you?
Hey, hi you guys. Hi you guys. Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Can you hear me?
Yes. We're gonna cut out.
Happy holidays. Some White Russians were good.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna cut out here for a second and give it over to you, Karen Hildebrand.
Take it away.
Okay. Yay. Hi. Happy holidays, Kat and Peter. I need a jump start on those White Russians. I have 2 poems tonight. This one is called Flying Snakes, and the opening lines are taken from the science pages of the New York Times. Flying snakes. When a snake launches off a tree and lands on another tree dozens of feet away, there is nothing random about those wiggles. Here's the thing. You want them to fly rather than fall onto your shoulders. The creatures don't really fly. They launch themselves from one trapeze bar to the next, piking into a seesaw double flip, the crowd gasping, landing at the new destination, elated. I didn't know snakes had ribs. If a rib can become a wing, a muscle must be a parachute. Consider that moment it snaps open. The way you hang suspended, your breath. Joseph Braithwaite, you have the wrong address. Dear Joseph Braithwaite, everything you order is delivered to me 3 times just this week. We can't find you, they say. What have you done with the breeze? Your unshorn hair, mailbox big enough for donuts stuffed with Boston cream. It's a felony to open other people's desire. I tried filing off your name, but I can't unsee these winding roads, the Portuguese seaside stinging my cheek as I hug the curve of a fierce Ducati. The stench of your cigar settled in on Tuesday. I've been left alone so long. That too intended for you? Just now, I answered when a neighbor hollered, "Hey, Joseph," and from a crowd of small, noisy children bounded a golden retriever puppy, so gleeful it peed on the spot. I had no choice but to fall down and take its full galloping weight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Man,
Got it.
it's so wonderful. We just noticed that on our StreamYard, your words are also on the.
On Facebook, it translates your words on the video.
Isn't that
Ooh, that's very cool.
cool?
That's
That's fancy,
wild.
man. We're doing
Right.
well
It's even
here.
translating these words that we're speaking now right onto the Facebook video. Wow.
So wonderful to see
Don't
you.
say anything you don't want to have in print.
So
Wow.
we'll see you at the after party.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that poem. Oh my God.
You keep
Wow.
getting these
That
packages,
one
right?
rocks. Yeah.
Thanks for gathering us all.
Everybody's quoting lines from it on YouTube. It's crazy. All right. So
Yay.
Of
All right.
desire.
So stick around, and
See you later.
we're going to bring up David Lawton now.
I mean, you can stay in the green room or whatever you need to do, but we'll bring you back up at the end of this section
Yeah.
and say hello to everybody at once, and then throw you
Okay.
off quickly. So yeah, we're gonna say goodbye to Aaron Hildebrand. Thank you for joining us, our dear friend. And wait, I'm removing ourselves.
Don't
you.
do that.
Bye, Karen.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have fun in the green room.
Okay, so now where did there's David Lawton. Somebody just disappeared. Who was it?
I don't know. Now we're going to introduce
Who was that? Nika.
David.
Okay, David Lawton is here, hot off his successful. Was it Saturday or Sunday?
The reading.
Saturday night, right? Yeah, that was good reading. Ed Sanders and John Sinclair, very good. A coup for David Lawton, are up there on the Upper East Side. You know, we've been staring at each other for 9 months in this same capacity, right? And it looks exactly the same. Yeah, but it's good.
I wish I could move the walls around for you, but yeah,
We took down the
can't do
paint.
it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, David Lawton is here to present on this lovely prose poetry party. And after he's done, we're going to give away a book. So hang in there and we'll tell you how to win that book after David's done. Go get him, David.
All right.
Before I begin with 3 short things, I just want to say thank you to Peter and Kat for including this Boston Irish asshole in every one of these that's happened, so that I can read with my book sister, La LaCroix, and a whole bunch of my best friends and favorite poets. Essence, waiting, buried in a stone, an amazing pressure of solubility, elemental process occurring at the cellular level in the furrow compromising bedrock, seeping along primeval pathway which shadows our footsteps above, a secluded coolness stirring the blood at the heart. Wellspring is cradle, cradle is wellspring, triggering an avalanche of glass bells tickling peach fuzz contours, hot buttered funk. Inside your cheek, a fine coat of saliva, strings of it forming on chops, proverbial or not, fiber optic polished salinity, synthetic acid at one time used as an artificial sweetener, dew, the dew. Sometimes I haven't an idea what I am saying when I try to explain. Having an idea what I am saying, you are flushed. Wash me clean. I forgot to masturbate. I had all the time in the world, but I forgot. Had no one around, no one else but me, nothing else to do. Wanted to forget my troubles with a lot of love to give and no place else to put it. But after all that, a moment passed, went straight out of my head. I forgot to masturbate. Not dead yet. Legs busting out the door at the 5 o'clock whistle. Dogs slap a silver streak down along blacktop heading east. Not going anywhere, but we gotta keep going into unexpected but welcome respite, suspended in air, my mother's words in my head with the porch windows up the beach cracked open, freshness flowing through. Sweet pollywog humus cricket scat breathing upward. On the other shore, radius extends outward, bending us back from our inward gazes. This stretching tells me parts of me are better than they ever were, but in turmoil with the parts that hurt. Faces all around with this knowledge, but we can't look at each other. We might explode. Good lives with bad all the time. Lost on the river, rescue boat without a floater to bear away. Lights rotating red and blue over black depths. I'm still alive. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
David Lawton,
Woo.
I'm glad you didn't forget to show up tonight, at least. But,
All right.
Hey,
That's
all
cool.
right. It's good to see you.
Mhm.
And I'm sure we'll see you at the after party, right? And at the end of this particular
I would like that. Peter, I would like that.
Good. Well,
We would
Jane,
like to see you.
you're with Jane is your book night sister, so we'll
Yeah.
see you there. Dark
And
Blue
Jane-
Stream is the book we published of David Lawton's from
and Jane
the
loved the show.
Boston Irish asshole. So it's
Yeah.
okay.
I would love if someone bought some.
Well,
Oh,
thank you so much for joining us, David. And we're going to bring up the next reader.
Time goes. Let's go Red Sox.
Giveaway.
Book giveaway.
Bye-bye, David. We'll see you at the end of this section.
What book
Book
are we
giveaway.
giving
We're
away?
giving away The Faking of the President is the first book. So whoever wants it, the first person to come up here on the comments is going to be the winner. And if you just say, I want that book, or just say anything, put a
I want
comment.
that book.
Put a comment in
Any
there.
comment.
It's your book. We will mail it to you. You send us a private message,
It's
whatever it
absolutely
is.
free.
It's
There's no strings attached.
stories of
So we'll keep going, and the next person who
whoever
puts a
says
comment up
something next wins
the
that book,
book.
if they send us their
The next
address.
comment.
And if not, we save money. We don't want to save money. We're publishers. We lose money. All right?
Shut up.
Okay. So now we are going to bring up Meghan Graposo, who is also a Hubert, but as a creator, she's a Graposo.
True story.
That's pretty true. We don't need truth now, do we?
No, especially with whomever it is who's on his way out, right?
Out. Dude, you lost. He's out.
All right.
Good stuff.
Meghan, we're going to turn the screen over to you. And Meghan has been in our Maintenant Journal, and we have a long history at Cornelia Street Cafe and everything. So please welcome Meghan Graposo.
All right. Thank you so much to Pete and Kat for doing this virtually. I'm so stoked to get to be involved in this with all these awesome, stellar artists. All right, I've got two. I'm your sinister squirrel. Dear Neil Gaiman, I'm so sad that the moment we became neighbors or even part-time neighbors, I had to learn about your aversion to squirrels in a mostly rural setting. Just wait till you see the deer. Dear Neil Gaiman, I wanted so much for us to be neighbors, even part-time neighbors. I know how to follow the instructions, and I'm under the impression that you do too. Or I was under the impression that you did, but maybe you only know how to write the instructions, which would make you, to me, an incorrigible top. And now I'm sad. Dear Neil Gaiman, I've spent so long going inward. I thought you'd understand this. The need to air out one's attic and clean one's ducts, to roam the larger interior of one's internal bookcase. Why would you deny that same journey to any squirrel, Neil Gaiman? It's what they do. Dear Neil Gaiman, my trees are limbless on one side, shorn and oozing sap. They were here before you. They'll be here after you, unless they fall, which would be your fault. You have denied them equilibrium, Neil Gaiman. Why didn't you just reintroduce wolves back into the landscape? Dear Neil Gaiman, around here, there's a special breed of black squirrel with a white stripe that's really good at handstands. And if you ever come across one, you should hang out and watch. Dear Neil Gaiman, next time, would you please just pick up the phone with your opposable thumbs? Dear Neil Gaiman, we are working tirelessly over here until the day we can approach you and say, behold, my army of squirrels. Just outside the prattle of uninvestigated anger. It's all burning, all fire now, all cinder, charcoal black, burn it fucking down. Spur, spark, catch, a sphere, your breath hooked, scored from your insides, my open-mouthed chasm, goatless tumble. It's all fire now. Needled and needed seed pop, close your eyes. Hollowed carcass, incinerated cycad, close your eyes. Singular silhouette finger, stretch sky. Burn it all down. Begin again. Here, both hairless, now both bald, sneaky-cheeked green, eyelashless. So what? Couple of naked hearts and blackened feet, small beating lizard things. The wind speaks, our green eyes alone, seen through see-through skin, quiet. Here, our equanimity. There, our lagging intelligence. More words than anger, more feeling than burn, more lost in unengaged sorrow. We grow our own wings. They keep us upright. We walk anyway. What's another word for catalyst? Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Megan.
What's
We got.
another word
I
for
see.
catalyst?
I see the hands of Matthew Cooper will be coming up after Kofi. So
And we're gonna ask Matthew to share a cocktail
maybe
recipe
he'll have
with
a
us.
cocktail recipe.
Okay.
So Megan, we'll see you at the end of this
All
segment,
right.
and
All right.
also at the after party.
Right
So
on.
hang in there.
Hey.
I have my recipe now. Should I get a recipe now, or should we move on?
No, let's who's next?
Kofi.
Kofi. Let's
Kofi
move
goes
on
to
Kofi.
Forsen. So
All
let's
right.
bring up
Oh,
Kofi.
we have a winner.
We do
Jenny
it.
Green.
Jenny Green,
was
who
our
came
winner.
to see Kofi, decided
Yeah.
to snag a book as well.
And we
So-
have 8 more books to give away.
No.
8.
We have 6 more books to give away.
Oh,
6.
right.
We had to
6
draw
more
back.
books to give away.
All right.
All right.
So here comes Kofi. Come on up, Kofi. There he is.
There he is, Kofi.
Yeah, I like the black line through you. That's beautiful.
I know I do that, but you know.
That's good.
Cool. All right.
And it's also taking different colors and stuff. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
That's your presentation. Maybe I don't want to get in the way anymore. I'm out of here.
Right
All right.
on.
You take it on.
All right, thank you, Peter and Kat. Thank you so much. I'd like to dedicate this reading to Cynthia Shaw and Joanna Pickering. And thank you, Jenny, for being out there. This is called Tarantino Wannabe Film starring a girl named Tarantella. Boom, shakalaka, boom. Talking European football with a mess of a man. He sits upright like the Eiffel Tower. Drunk at the end of bar is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Take a look at these London on and offs glistening like Christmas lights. Was it the bitters in their gin tonic or the pepperoni in their pizza? Half of one eye closed, she has of the slice, as if with gritted teeth, she pulls at the Parmesan. The topping with cheese and tomato sauce drips onto the table, floating over the bartender's concoction. This is not a Sunday night. This is a how the hell did I end up here kind of night before Monday morning when I'll be expected to be showered and groomed, suit and tie, holding office on the 40th floor of a building midtown where the cab drivers drive sarcastically and the hot dog says robbery. Robbery! He walks in, sawed-off shotgun, arms up in the air, arms up in the air. Turn the music off, turn the music off. He don't like mariachi. It would be much easier making money off a would-be, has been, never really made it. He or is that she comes around, opens up a tab, gets wasted, sits there singing along to the jukebox, catcalling strangers until closing time. He throws a potato sack at Harry and orders him to fill it up with cash. I'm almost expecting Lucy to sashay over to the speck of a man, run her hand around his shoulder, say something Luciferian coming from a chick, of course. Looks like we haven't been laid in a while. Why don't you come over to my end of the squad and make like we've known each other for a long, long time? So Harry does the thing he was told to do. He tosses the bag at the man. He makes a nice catch, fires a shot in the air, and like a cat makes a dash out the door. Somebody must have texted 911 because out of nowhere we hear sirens and somebody else freeze. Balls to the wall. They'll tattoo his face against the bricks, handcuff him, stick him in the back seat, off to penitentiary. As for the money, I say a round of drinks for everyone. A hard one for Tarantella. I want to get her drunk. I'm loading my junk in the trunk. Whiskey sour and lime for me. I am liberated, inebriated, cash diamonds in my pocket. I'll thumb her neck until 3, then I'll tap my teeth on her wrist. It'll be time to go put the rubber to the road. If I can't see, maybe it's dark and I got on my darkies. Life is risky. She's my business. Tonight, I'll make it like in the movies. She smells of vodka. I'm liberated, inebriated, cash diamonds in my pocket. Thank you.
Kofi!
Yeah.
Nice work, Kofi.
Yeah.
Hang in there for a couple of minutes. We'll bring everybody up for a second, and then we'll see you at the after party. All right?
All right.
Okay. So hang in there. Thank you. Great reading.
All right.
All right. Here we are. Are we giving away? We're going to give away this book. Because,
After Matthew.
Oh, after Matthew. You're right. So
we're
let's
give
bring
away
up
another book
Matthew
after Matthew.
Hupert. Here comes Matthew Hupert.
And he'll have a cocktail recipe first. So
What did you make, Matthew Hupert?
Well, this is just rum. It is not a cocktail.
Only rum.
But I have a great cocktail. It's
rum.
This is Diplomatico rum, my favorite. It's a sipping rum. But I have a cocktail recipe for you. Sure, we've been drinking this a lot lately. It would be 2 parts bourbon, 1 part lemon juice, 1 part maraschino liqueur, cherry bitters and Angostura bitters.
Okay.
And maraschino cherries with a little of the syrup as a garnish. And it's really lovely. And you can make it with gin, too.
What do you call it?
I don't know. I had some name for it, but I can't tell you. I'm an old pothead. I don't remember those things.
Yeah. I actually picked maraschino cherries. The cherries they picked, they were in a tree, and you picked them.
Who picks
in
maraschino cherries?
It was in the Dalles, which is along the Columbia River. I was a young man.
That's awesome.
But, anyhow,
Washington or Oregon?
Oregon, on the Oregon side of the
Wow.
Columbia River.
Are they
I
already
picked
bright
maraschino.
red?
No. That's
The
all
good ones are dark, not bright.
chemicals. They are a
Right,
little
right,
darker,
right.
but yes.
Okay.
All right.
We're
So,
so excited
thank
to
you,
have
Matthew.
you here, Matthew. I can't wait to hear your reading.
I am,
Take it away.
Take it away.
I am so excited to be here. I'm sad we're not doing it in person, but I'm happy we're doing it because this is always a great event every year. And when we do it again in person, everyone gets tons of fucking hugs. I have 3 poems, pretty new, most of them. The first one is called I Was a Frontline Soldier in the War on Drugs. 3-parter. 1. The beach in Koh Samui, Mai Nam Beach, back before the airport. There was a bungalow with a sign out front, magic mushroom omelets, breakfast served all day. On my 27th birthday, we had mushroom soup for breakfast. That afternoon, undulating blue with the Gulf of Thailand, we were too high to tell if the joint was lit or not. 2. After the concert, he sat on the curb. Tai Chi eyes blazed around saucer-sized pupils. I am everywhere, everywhere, he joyfully shouted, everywhere. But later, my buddy said he hadn't seen him, so I knew he was wrong. An 18-hour bus across the Rajasthani tar, heading to blue Udaipur. I heard God's voice in the blue desert moon telling me to quit doing drugs. But at the time, I was so high on bang balls from the bicycle kid in Jaipur, I felt no need to pay attention. Thank you. Next one, this is brand new. We've been so much anger and so much angst lately that I wanted to read some items from a gratitude list. Day 1, waking up, sleeping, sous vide and fried chicken, dream bunnies, indoor oxygen. Day 2, the bleeding stopped, remembering dreams, forgetting dreams, dreaming, building a bed builds bonds. Day 3, hope, the possibility of working it out, tastes and flavors, jazz, eye sparkle. Day 4, fermentation, respiration, aspiration, dedication, love. Day 5, healing exists. People like me more than I like myself. I'm surprisingly healthy. The cat is warming to me. We're still here. Thank you. Finally, one last one. This is called Grasshopper Grillidae. or a lifetime summer serenade. I spent a long time rubbing my back legs against my abdomen, baby, before I met you. Chirp. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you all. See you later.
The sound effects.
Wonder, I like the sound too. Very good.
Yay.
Sound effects, always good.
All right.
All right. So we'll see you at the end of this little section. We'll bring you right back up and see you in a minute. Now we're gonna give away. Where's our giveaway banner? Giveaway, book giveaway, book giveaway. Guess what we're gonna give away? Ray by Ray. Guess who's coming up? Nika Ray. So
This is by Nika Ray.
This is by Nika Ray.
Do you know that
daughter's
Nika Ray's father is Nicholas Ray,
Rebel Without a
the
Cause.
filmmaker.
The filmmaker.
Unbelievable.
So here comes Nika Ray. We're gonna bring her up, but the first person to come on is gonna win the copy of this book. We will send it right to you. Hello,
it's
Nika.
A memoir and biography. All right. Hey, Nika.
You guys can hear me all right?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. So great to be here.
It's good to have you. And we'll leave you on at the end and bring everybody else up and say goodbye and bring in the next section.
Who's going to win the copy of the book? You
I don't know. Nobody's come on yet.
Put a comment.
Come on, you guys.
I have got that book. Who would say that?
That was Dee Dee Champagne. We love her.
Okay, good. We love her.
So whoever puts a comment that includes
first comment,
Nika Ray on it,
it doesn't have to. You look fabulous. Whoever said that.
You look
Who
fabulous.
said that? Who said that is the winner?
Daisy,
Daisy Wake. It's going to be tough to mail her.
Daisy.
We'll mail her. Go get him, Nika.
All right. So I'm going to read from Ray by Ray from the chapter, A Dog Does Not a Father Make. In the early 1990s, a friend told me she'd run into Lew Wasserman, one of the most powerful agents Hollywood ever knew, at a party. He was responsible for movie stars becoming independent contractors, which ultimately broke apart the studio system. When my parents separated in 1964, Lew Wasserman and his socialite wife, Edie, offered to help my mother, Betty, get back on her feet financially. She refused their offer. However, throughout my childhood, Betty never neglected to mention how the Wassermans had wanted to save us from poverty. She said it like she had done a noble thing by refusing their generosity. That was how I was introduced to the Wasserman name. Lew and Edie Wasserman were people I had never met, but who could have saved me from never having enough. My friend mentioned me when she spoke to Lew Wasserman. He remembered me and asked how I was. He was the king of Hollywood. Royalty. What does that mean? Kings and queens and guillotines. Once an agent said to me, "Who do you think you are? You're not Drew Barrymore." I had just read a script Nick had written in the late 1960s that was a speed-induced rant going on tangents when it should have been finding its conclusion. "Yes," I told the agent. "I know." My lips crinkled. I refused to let her hear me crying over the payphone in the locker room at the motion picture library. When people say to me, "You're Hollywood royalty," I don't know what they mean. I feel most things, but never royal. I wore a blue Swiss Miss style uniform and white nurse's shoes while serving Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruities at the International House of Pancakes. Hollywood royalty is Irene Selznick, daughter of Louis B. Mayer, wife of David O. Selznick, son of Louis Selznick, one of Hollywood's founding fathers. George Washington, cherry trees. The Cherry Lane Theater in New York's West Village sits on Commerce Street. Tony, my half-brother, lived near there when he was a boy growing up in the 1940s. In the 1970s, Tony was producing movies for the director Paul Mazursky. I saw Bloom in Love in a theater in Westwood with my older sister. We hadn't seen Tony in several years. We clapped when his name appeared in the credits. When I was 7 years old, my other half-brother, Tim, was dating Jenny, the daughter of James Arness, who was starring in the long-running television show Gunsmoke. Jenny left Tim for Greg Allman, who left Jenny for Cher. I heard about Jenny's suicide on the 5 o'clock news and blamed Greg Allman for killing her. What did I know? I was 7. Years later, when I was 20 and sitting with Tim at his dining room table, he told me we were Hollywood royalty without the castle. I had just come off a 6-year run addicted to alcohol and drugs, where I ended up walking the then decrepit streets of Hollywood, panhandling. Royalty. If my father had just been an average man and not the man who directed James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause, he would have likely ended up a drunken bum on Skid Row. In the years following his separation from my mother in 1964, he wandered through Europe, where I was born, conning people into giving him money to make films I don't think he ever intended on making. He, along with his older sister Helen, used to steal pints from their father's stash and drive the 14 blocks to the Mississippi River, where they would spend the afternoons getting drunk. It's rumored that Nick was using cocaine as early as the 1930s. It's a fact that during the 1950s, he carried a doctor's bag overflowing with pharmaceuticals. Ray by Ray, thank you all. Thank you, Three Rooms Press. I love you.
Hey, listen, here comes, Matt. Okay, say it. Here comes Meghan and Matthew, and here comes Kofi and Karen, and David Lawton has, I see John Lennon, and here's our first round of people.
Yay,
we'll see you at the after party. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Our winner, by the way, of Nika Ray's Ray by Ray is Alice Espinosa Sinchota. So please say congratulations to Alice. Okay, and we're going to move on to our next reader, which is me. Yay!
Cat Georges.
All right, so Nika. Okay, and then Nika. See you later, Nika. Okay, so kick right out. Kick.
Go ahead.
Here we go. Okay.
I got to get out of the way now.
Right. That's the problem. I'm so glad to be here for our Prose Poetry Party 8. It is a long time that we've had this event going on. We used to do it at Cornelia Street Cafe, right around the corner from 3RP headquarters. And then last year, 2 years ago, when Cornelia Street Cafe closed down, we moved it over to Le Poisson Rouge.
For 1 year.
And now Le Poisson Rouge is unfortunately pandemically closed, but they have a great thing. It's LPR TV. If you ever want to check out that's a really cool subscription service. It helps them try to stay in business until this is all over. So I know you guys are being strong. I know nobody reads pandemic poetry, but I'm going to read one. So here we go. Applause. Clear the room. Here comes the queen of social D. I am so distant, you can't see me, taste me, smell me. I'm 6 feet in all directions with height depth. I shine like a lighthouse. I beam and the world moves out of my way. I'm on fire. My eyes are diamonds in this treasure chest of isolation. My kindness is unmatched. I'm a volunteer go-to for the end of the world gang. Call me anytime. Online, offline, video, audio. Damn, this girl is rocking the phone. I worship the frontline folks, of course. The healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, grocery store, deli, bodega workers, the bicycle delivery squad, the UPS, the FedEx, the postal workers, the waitresses, the cooks, the bus boys, all of them. And you should see me in the morning. Quiet, calm. I meditate so deep, I leave a vacuum in the atmosphere where my ego used to be. You should see what gets sucked into that hole. Fear, anxiety, boredom, and all those petty words that could have been. Why do I do all this? Why do I put that crown on my head each morning and say, "You got this, girl"? You know why? You know why. Because I am you, the one who isn't about to quit, who won't give up in this time of unmatched tragedy. I am you, the one who comforts, fears, supports friends and families, neighbors and strangers with kindness, with humor, with unlimited love. I am you, you queen, you king, you unheralded hero. I am you, like you, alive. And oh, how delicious to know that here, just in this moment.
Yay, Cat.
All right.
Whoa, Cat Georges. What a
Thank
reading,
you.
huh, everybody?
Thank
That's
you.
a beauty. Beautiful piece. Thank you so much. Should we give away a book? Or
Let's call up our first person.
let's call up our first reader, who is Amy Herman. Amy Herman is coming up here.
Yay,
Amy! What you gonna do?
Oh, I just seeing my hair. Hello, welcome. Thank you for.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure to see Amy Herman. We did her first debut novel, Everything Grows, last year, and we're happy to be
winner of so many awards. It won a silver medal in the forward.
It's a great book. Anyhow, look for Everything Grows. And here's Amy Herman, who we're going to turn this over to you, Amy. Okay, how's everything? Okay,
I'm here. I'm still here.
She's got her ukulele.
As David Watson said.
She doesn't need us. She's got her ukulele.
All right. Hi. So I'm just going to. This is a very short story / poem / song called Mammogram. This is a true story. The weights are left alone. I am too away. I am left alone. The women are called by their last names. The door opens to a room that feels like the inside of a mouth. Like the inside of a mouth. They each put on paper blue gowns to cover what needs to be covered. The youngest is called in, takes off the blue, whispers to the nurse. You can remove them both, please. You can remove them both, please. Would you remove them both, please? Please. Please. So what's the news today? The nurse compliments her tattoos, does not notice the scars. Does not notice the scars. On the bike ride home, she cries to the wind. Wonders if any of the women want theirs gone too. The weeds are left alone. I am too a weed. I'm left alone. Thank you.
Amy Herman,
Thank you.
what a talent out there in Brooklyn. We're
That was
290
super moving.
290 days where you're sitting is what you've seen. You see the same as us, but we're the same givers. We're the same creators. You're a wonderful human being.
That was really
and we
moving.
love having
Thank you,
you be a part of Free Rooms Press and being a part of each other's life. And thank you so much. Hang on for a minute. We'll bring you back at the end. And thank you. Hey, is that Trey back there? Hey, Trey. All right. So we'll see you in a little bit, okay?
All right.
So
just click over here. Yeah.
all right, there we go.
There we go.
So now we're going to give away the door to Inferno. First person to say anything gets the door to Inferno.
This is
debut novel, fantasy,
like
YA
young
novel.
kid novel. It's a beautiful.
Get it
fun.
for your kid. Get it for
was
your
written
niece.
by-
Get it. It's free.
Written by a 16-year-old Rishab Bora. He's got a whole world that he's built. It's wonderful, and
Get it for your niece, nephew, anyone.
It was
You will love it.
edited by our next wonderful
Reader.
who is
Mary Rose Manspeaker. We're not. We're on, yay! We're on StreamYard, so don't you worry, Mary. We don't want anything out of you. All what you want to give to the
Mary Rose
people out there.
Manspeaker, in case you don't know, is a Three Rooms Press editor-in-chief, and we're so happy to know her. And she is also currently working on her poetry MFA from Columbia, right?
St. Joseph's College.
Joseph's, well, it's close.
You take it away,
thank
Mary.
you.
Okay?
Will do.
Okay,
All right.
knock them dead.
Hello, I have 3 pieces. So the first are 2 very slight poems, and then one that I wrote at the beginning of the year. So a little throwback. Best case scenario. The paint peels away slowly, and the wood underneath brightens to dust. A description of my house after the vines twine over its asphalt shingled roof, guiding it to dirt, a graveyard of lost gardens, dandelions drifting seeds among stray chicken wire, and unfettered strawberry runners. The walls. It seems odd, this deer housed within my living room. I first glimpsed it through the open window, over the steam my breath ghosted past the lip of my coffee cup, and thought nothing of it. I blinked once, and it was afternoon. The buzzer sounded as soon as I opened my eyes. I called the inquirer in, opened the door without hazarding a glance through the peephole. In trotted the deer, each shoe placed delicately upon its entrance. Everything I could have done to prevent this moment matters not at all now. Its haughty gaze meets my empty mug, the couch I stole from someone it abandoned. Antlers wave dangerously, close as its head swivels. The deer speaks. I want to be. This finally has some sense to it. Make me something, they scrape into the walls, each corona prong its own neat stroke. The last one is one I wrote pre-pandemic, before masks had taken on a new context. So I thought maybe giving it some space would help me recontextualize it for myself. It's called Body as Fact. The first time I step outside without a mask, it feels too frigid to bear. There was nothing carefully crafted about me before, but I was solid. Cynics will say, you cannot forsake the mask entirely. Are you not the one who carved it? I point to the rough-hewn surface. This is ancient. The first ever mask was carved of stone, gaping eyes and an upturned crescent of a mouth. To have a mouth and be seen only mid-scream, what lonely thoughts occupy existence? The apocalypse is here and it is slow, and I am distracted with my own treacherous dysmorphic manias. No matter whose voice they speak with, there is no one else. Oh, how lonely to eat dinner with no one, as 7 billion people fit food in their mouths. There is no healing after an exorcism. I fear the bond forever severed. When you carve with no great skill, you create jagged recesses. The most skilled whittlers and stonemasons leave emptiness more soft to touch and gaze. Nonetheless, the emptiness. And being made of soft sinew instead of mineral, I press my flesh to what remains. It feels too frigid to bear. This is ancient. This is given to swallow me. This is rhythmically pumping my chest to alter the wind. This is hammering a new pattern into my heart and calling it law. This is bursting a blood vessel and calling it love. Oh, how lonely to live in fact, as if it's the end, as though what we etch in stone we must obey. I took it off. I took it off. Oh, how lovely to live with you. Thank you. It's so exciting to read with everyone.
Wow.
Mary!
That was incredible.
Wow.
Oh my God. That was really beautiful. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Mary. It was so good to hear your work. I mean, beautiful. Really
Thank
beautiful.
you.
We'll have you on for a second at the end of this round.
Who's the
and
winner?
Hopefully you join. Well, we already. Oh, the winner was Jim Roy for Jordan Inferno. So.
Yeah.
See you in a few there, Mary. See you in a couple.
All right.
All right. Who's I believe our next reader will be Puma Perl, who is here. We had Pamela Papino Wood, who was PP as well.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, Puma Perl, thank you.
Hi, guys.
Microphone, headphones, you're right on, baby.
Yeah, I'm practicing for my big debut.
Would not have had headphones and a microphone.
Yeah,
So,
that's good. All right.
This is professional.
Do you
Thank
pop
you
your
for
piece?
joining us.
I'm working on the PP.
Take it away, Puma, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of popping peas, my poetry is a bit pandemically apocalyptic. So it's the apocalypse. Men fall in love with their wives, and the wives check on their mothers and call their kids, and the men bake bread, and the women paint the ceiling. Partners live in houses and watch movies together, or they watch movies on different floors, and they talk more than ever about what they're going to eat and argue about pizza toppings and the safety of Chinese fried rice. Or they live in apartments or studios or basements, and they take walks in the park, or one of them is depressed and the other is hopeful, or the hopeful one gets mad at the depressed one, or vice versa. Or they were about to break up, but now there's nowhere to go. Or they're new, and it's you and me against the world, baby, and it's wonderful, or it's a terrible mistake, but there's nowhere to go. Or you live alone, And it's not that different than your former life, or it's really different than your former life. And at least you know how to do it, and you're never bored, or you're always bored because you were never home in your former life. You eat too much or too little and can't get in trouble. Well, maybe a little bit of trouble, but at least you're not driving drunk or practicing unsafe sex. You prepared for the apocalypse by buying eye makeup remover and 5 different tubes of red lipstick, which you carefully apply every time you check the mail or do the laundry. You miss the dog more than you miss most people. And you only become fearful when your son's chest closes in and hurts, and your daughter panics about your son's chest hurting. And you love from afar, which you did anyway. The lives we are living are the lives that we made. Only the sheltered can shelter and Zoom and tweet and post photos of food on social media. The lives lost and ruined are not yet found until everyone falls in love with the earth and the air and themselves and each other. Okay, and one more, and this one was written for Steve Dalachinsky, and there's a little bit of a collaboration with our mutual friend, jazz composer and musician Charlie Waters. So it's a shout out to him. And it's called Highway Music in the Now. Riding down streets and highways, looking for the road out of here, into somewhere, into anywhere. Maybe a cheap motel or an SRO if they still exist. Just for the night, or maybe a month. Doesn't seem to matter. And the only place open is now. In the magic of chaos, we continue into hurricanes and sunsets. Riding the Now Express out of this moment and back, and out of this moment and back, the only one we will ever have. Just the process, said Stevie D. Just the process. And the only space and the only place open is now. Thank you, everyone. And everyone was great. I got to add that.
Thank you.
That was wonderful,
All right.
Puma.
Thanks for coming in
Great
with us.
reading.
And
Lovely.
you're still in
Yeah.
Bukowski, don't worry. You know, we're going to do it on March 8th, which was his 25th anniversary of his death. So we're just going to do it on that day. And
We
make
want
a
to get
special
Tom
night
Waits. Do
about
you have
it.
a connection to Tom Waits?
I don't. I'm
I've
sorry.
asked quite a few
We're working
people,
on
but
it.
anyhow, we'll do it. We'll see you at the end of
Well,
this.
well, I'm free in 2021, so it should work.
Yeah, right.
Okay, good. Good.
Thank you.
Hey, stick around. All right, we're gonna bring you up at the end of this group.
Okay. And now, do we have a giveaway? No, after Adam, right?
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the one and only Adam Lance Garcia.
There he is.
Look at him.
Look at that clear background. What are you back in the studio?
No. This is where this is sort of my office. I mean, there's there.
Okay, there
and
you
there's there. So this is just a little bit more safer of a background for
back in Jersey City.
Zoom meetings. I'm in Jersey City right now. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, what are you going to read for us, Adam?
I've read this twice. Twice out of the 3 times I've done this before. This is the 4th time. I'm reading from the Obama Inheritance, my story of the continuing mission, but I'm going to be reading the ending of it.
Yeah.
I've usually read the beginning, but the way this election turned out this year, I think the message that is in this story is very relevant, and I thought it was a good thing to read as this insane year of our Lord 2020 comes to a close.
Adam has been in the Obama Inheritance, the Faking the President. He's 3 rooms.
Whatever else you want to put me in, I'll be in. So that's.
Go ahead, take it away.
Thank you. So this is the ending of the continuing mission. Quick little understanding where things are. Barack Obama and Joe Biden are time travelers in the prestige of Spock and Bones, Dr. McCoy from Star Trek. And this is right after the election. Barack and Biden sat in the Oval Office waiting for the president-elect to arrive. The election had not gone well. Terrorist attacks in America and around the world had unnerved the populace, and an undercurrent of resentment and a rapidly changing world allowed a dark horse candidate to succeed. While the majority of the voters had chosen Barack's preferred successor, an intentional flaw in the system allowed a minority of voters in 3 states to elect a narcissist who played to the anxieties of a shrinking demographic and classified whole races and religions as something to be hated. And those were just a few of his flaws. It was a loss Barack took personally, a bruise that refused to heal. But in a gesture of national unity, Barack invited the president-elect to the White House in an effort to honor the laws of the nation he had grown to love, and to finally face the enemy he had sworn to combat so many decades ago. There was a knock at the door, and both Barack and Biden stiffened. "Come in," Barack called. One of Barack's aides eased open the door and took a half step into the Oval Office. Sir, there's someone here to see you. Mr. No, he says his name is Caspian. She curled her lips in, and he's dressed like Captain Kirk. Barack and Biden stood in unison. "Let him in," Barack said. The aide stepped aside, and a moment later, Captain Jane T. Caspian walked into the Oval Office, looking exhausted but no older than Barack had last seen him. "Captain," Barack gasped. Caspian's smile stretched across his face. "Barack, Dr. Biden, I cannot tell you how good it is to see you." "Jim, Jesus Christ, what are you doing here?" Biden breathed. Here to rescue you. I thought that was obvious," Caspian said, flapping his arms. Barack glanced over at a photo of Michelle, Sasha, and Malia, and then to Biden, who only raised his eyebrows. Neither knew how to explain to the captain that leaving this time period was simply out of the question. The captain looked around the Oval Office. "It seems you two did pretty well for yourselves." Biden, perhaps they should address the more immediate questions first. "The time machine," Biden said deliberately. "It could only send." Caspian's smile shrank slightly. "We captured this Klingon's time machine. It's more advanced, which means we can bring you back. In fact, I'm disobeying a number of orders from Galactic Command, but that's really no different than any other day." Barack arched his brow. "But we still haven't been able to locate the Klingon forces. And frankly, at the moment, they are the least of our concerns. The recent rise in xenophobia around the world is almost certainly leading." "The Klingons never arrived," Caspian said, his voice cracking. The room suddenly felt too small. "I'm sorry." Biden's jaws inched open. "But Galactic Command detected 2 major chronoton events," Caspian explained, shaking his head. "One created by Klingon machines, the other by ours. One in the mid-20th century, the other in the early 21st. Command had no way of knowing which event corresponded to which machine. What they didn't know was that the Klingons never made it out of their era. It was Commander Kara," Caspian clarified, a name nearly forgotten by Biden and Barack both. "He was going to be the invasion force. We stopped them, McDonnell and I, before Kara could travel back in time, but my phaser blast damaged the time machine. And while we have retrieval capability, I can only transport to this time and place." Caspian cleared his throat. "So what Galactic Command wasn't Kara arriving at this moment. It was me, here now, coming to bring you both home." "The mission isn't over," Barack said firmly. Caspian balked. "Barack, the Klingons never arrived. There is no mission." Biden shook his head, his hands trembling. "No, Jim. The bastard that's coming here, all those horrible things we witnessed over the years, were simply humans at their worst," Barack finished. He frowned and his eyes drifted to the windows overlooking the rose garden. He raised his head. "We can be better. Not just when the Galactic Confederation is established, but these people right now. Barack looked to Biden, then to Caspian. If there's one thing I have learned these many years, it is hate is the minority, and that hope belongs the majority. But though the worst of humanity may have won in the short term, I now know that we will win in the long run. Biden looked to Caspian, then to Barack, a ghost of a smile forming on his lips. I suppose we now know which time travel theory we're in, don't we? Barack nodded. A paradox. We traveled back in time to change history because we were already part of that history. How can you know, Barack? Caspian asked. You, Jim, Barack said with a nod to his former captain. You are evidence that our mission will succeed. Caspian smiled sadly. You can still come home, the both of you, now that we know. President Barack Hussein Obama looked to Vice President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. and knew without speaking they were in agreement. No, Captain, we are home, and there's work we still need to do. And that's it.
All right.
You damn straight. There's work we got to do, baby. This was
I told you.
2016 you wrote this. 2017 we published it, right?
I know it. I couldn't help, like, when you asked me to do this, I was like, there's only one scene I could do right now, and this is the one that felt the most powerful.
We were in shock, and we still haven't gotten out of it until 3 days.
Yeah.
We'll still be in that PTSD, man.
For a long time. Yes.
But you did a wonderful story that really took, an edge off in a good way.
I hope so.
Respect what was, the way it was, but not draining the swamp and then things are better.
Yeah.
The swamp is the swamp, baby,
Yeah.
It was, we can't get out of the swamp.
No, we can't.
These people are laughing, but they're in there getting bitten by tsetse flies. They're going, it's cool. They're out of line. But you're not. So you're hang on for a second. We'll bring you back for a minute. People and we're gonna bring up, we're a little behind, but so what?
All right.
Hang in there. We got a next book we're giving away, Loudmouth. It is Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll by the fictional memoir by the ex-lead editor of Cream magazine, Robert Duncan. So the first person that says, I want this book on those comments.
If you love rock and roll,
if you love sex and drugs.
He interviewed Bruce Springsteen, Kiss, The Clash.
Just put up there, I want the book, and then
it's a fantastic
yours.
book of a lot of things.
So now we're going to bring up, we're running one person behind, but so what?
Right.
It's our night, and we own it. We own the night.
Where's Robin Hirsch?
We're bringing up Martina Salisbury, our dear friend. Yay! Are you still up in Catskill?
I am still up in Catskill, yes.
Yay, Catskill!
Yay, upstate.
You're lit, but the area behind you is dim, so that's beautiful.
Oh,
very, very nice.
I'm in a movie as we were doing this. That's like my movie lighting.
All right, it's good lighting. Nice. Take it away, Martina Sal.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Peter and Kat, for doing this and for inviting me to read tonight. I'm happy to see so many friends and beautiful faces of beautiful friends, and wonderful poets and writers to be in the company of tonight. I just have a few short poems, and we'll start with this one. It's called Gradient Blur. Solarized echo of test strip silhouettes, of silent feline shapes stretched before the window, shades drawn across the overcast two-dimensional grid of rooftops, colorless names as ever, a glimmer of madness, of pre-dawn hunt, premonition of the day ahead, lurking under soft fur, asleep on my chest, on the same spot I first held my son the day he was born. The same gray light as oceans, and memories overlapping with shadows still there, like the view missing so many years I've forgotten. This is a nocturne from the 18th of April, 2020. In darkness appearing invisible
as footsteps echo on blankets snow. A lure of tenderness, temporal as smoke, curls into the curve of my waist. A lunar eclipse disappearing, like dreams' inevitable amnesia. Just 3 more short poems. Electric feathers traveling pinafore, a summer poem. Folds of russet silk coveted like time travel to a summer night lingering in sly pockets, waiting for secrets like foxes in dark woods and promises of chance encounters across the miles, woven like spider webs into dream skirts heavy with thunder, waiting for a flash of skin. And this is called Diagonals of Missing Ceilings. The corners overlap each morning. I wake up somewhere else, and the days blur past seasonal changes and migratory patterns until only the sound of tracks mid-air fills the room, and an occasional unknown bird or siren breaks the Gaussian silence, weaving through thickets of abandoned nests on waves of wind, a memory of home ever distant. The last one. With a bear as spirit guide. She knew to find her way through bramble thickets tangled and sweet, solitary under the weight of a moonless sky, smoke held in silhouette branches, the braille of each serrated leaf dusting her fingertips with messages, following a trail through bracken ferns to a place where grief and memory reside as lovers, and petals speak softly as dreams.
All right. Thank you, Martina.
Martina Salisbury, thank you. In Catskill, New York, right up this way, I think.
Stick around.
100 miles north.
We're going to move ahead. We're a couple of years behind, but so what? We're never behind. We own the night. So just
and please, if you're not reading, please don't be on the StreamYard. If you're not a reader, if you're just
go
watching,
to Facebook or YouTube. Don't worry.
Watch on YouTube.
So who's next? Do we have a giveaway or no, not yet? Meghan Brothers.
Yay!
Where is she? There she is. Meghan. Weird Girl and What's His Name was the novel she wrote with us. 3 Rooms Press.
You're on mute. You're on mute. So Meghan, get up.
Unmute.
Unmute.
I'm unmuted.
There he is.
It's okay.
All right.
I wasn't saying anything anyway, so it's all good.
Good to see you, Meghan.
It's your turn.
To see you guys.
Turn to shine. So
right.
we're turning it over to you right now.
Oh no. Nobody told me I was gonna have to shine. It's terrible. All right. I'm just kidding. All right, here's a quick poem. Oh, first of all, hi everybody. I'm so happy to be here. In my living room, as per usual. All right, this is called Farewell Issue. I don't want to buy any more memorial magazines commemorating, I can't even spell commemorating, you and your life which has ended. And then I turn to this book and write until the ink is dead too, until I'm just trawling horrible inkless trenches into the page. These dumb ghost lines are like you are, an impression, something weighty and insistent was here, but we can't quite make it out now. Find a pencil, shade it in, conjure up a ghost. I don't like this. I don't feel anything. For a while there, I felt everything. I don't know if that was better. I cried in the street, in the post office line. I stay up now till dawn refreshing your name on the internet. They call this searching behavior. Nothing breaks my concentration. I'm commemorating. I'm learning how to spell commemorate. I'm twisting toward the sunlight like a half-dead vine. The sunlight's artificial. I sit with my silence in the rain. I don't know what to talk about with people. My concentration is utterly broken. There's a chorus of bright lights and kind words and chasms of dark things I can't seem to cross over or even understand. But I keep dredging deeper into this page, as if I could press the words in deep enough, as if I could tattoo your ashes back to life, as if I could write and write until time spun backwards and our pages were blank, and the ending was beautifully unwritten. That's it, you guys. Thanks very much. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right. We need a banner. We need book giveaway. Book giveaway.
That was beautiful, Meghan.
Wonderful. So
We
good to
missed
see you.
We,
But
we love the fact that you're a temp, and that's the important thing. Are you temping again?
Yes, I am. I'm temping again. So.
All right. More on that later.
Okay. We'll see you in a
See you at the
couple.
after party.
We'll bring and then the after party. We are before we bring up. We're giving away a book. We're giving away. It's a brand new book. It's an ARC, an advanced reader copy from Vanessa Baden Kelly, who is an Emmy Award-winning actress. Is far away from close to home. A Black millennial woman in progress. This is coming in May, early May. It's an incredible book.
Brilliant essays about what it is to be an African-American Black person in America trying to find a place for home.
It's called Home.
Gorgeous.
So the first person to give from this moment will win a copy, and we will send it to you. So
this
please,
is coming out,
it won't be out until May. This is an advanced reader copy. So first person, give it a thing. Now it's my turn to read. So, but before I do,
Robert Gibbons?
Oh wait, no, it's Robert Gibbons. Robert Gibbons, it's your turn to read. I'm sorry. We're way behind. So, Robert Gibbons did make it.
All right.
And you got on there on the phone, did you?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I know. I know it's tough, but yeah, I made it. Yeah. Can you see me? Can you see me?
No,
okay.
You look fabulous. Don't worry. Just take it on. Give it. Give it your all.
All right. I just like to say, I'm happy to be in your virtual company. The telephone is kind of funky, but I'm here. All right. So thank you so much. And to my mother, Dorothy, and to my father, Robert, and to my brother, Dr. Carl Gibbons, who's suffering right now from the COVID, I say to you that I love you, right? So the title of this poem is called Him. I had a dream last night about him, the person that appeared in my sleep that kissed me on my lips. I mean, it was as if I felt it. And for some, this could be fantasy. This could be a romance I have created in my head about desire. I am not going to retire it to just that. Him could be my loneliness, could be the only way I could satisfy my urge to couple, my only need to be somebody. But I'm not the only one that dreams of being kissed in the bliss of a night. And that could be my vision. If I could evaluate the closeness I have with my personal, the way I want to keep him secret, but he reaches out to me out of my darkness of my quilt, and then I melt like delicious grease. And it was the rain that made me snuggle. All the darkness in the room to hide. How many times have I lied? How many times have I tried to maintain normalcy? It was 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. And then I dreamed that him would appear. Him would talk to me slow and tell me more, that he loved me, that I would not be alone anymore. And that night I wept and I kept all my secrets beneath my quilt. All my secrets, all my sex was just sex. All the wet dreams, the mean and mannish way that it was just an act. It was just the fact that I did it. Him came to me only for a minute. The way my dead husband came and said goodbye. Him had died a month before. His body laid in the bed for more than 20 years. And then he appeared to me and laid beside me and said, it's all right to move on. It's all right to turn your attention to someone else. How come him came to me, not as apparition, not as ghostly or demarcation, but it was actually that I could be alone and not lonely. I could go on with my individual in order to love someone else. I must love myself, and I didn't. I didn't even know what love was. It's not sex. It's not masturbation. It's not male with female. It's not show and tell. But him came to me as a prophet. And after I laid in all my wasteful nakedness, and I begged him to be partnered or coupled or brothered, but nothing is more important now but satisfaction of oneself. Him told me and kissed me and left me and disappeared into the universe. It was him. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity.
I'm bringing everybody up. Amy, Puma, Mary, Meghan, and Martina. Thank you so much for part two. Let's see you at the after party if you want. Just join us after we're done here. Adam, okay, so thank you.
The winner.
The winner was who?
Cheryl J. Fish.
Cheryl J. Fish won. So Robert, we're getting rid of everybody now. I got to take everybody off. So
okay.
Kick from studio. Kick from studio. Thank you, Julia. We'll bring you up soon, okay?
Yay!
Remove. How come okay, and remove Julia. Okay, we're removing Kick from studio. Kick Sue to studio. I'm sorry, we're one person behind here. 8:20, I was supposed to be done, but I am not. I haven't even started. So now everyone at the last, we got Gina. We got Jane.
Gina Yates.
Gina Yates, Jane Armstrong. Andre and Julia are there. Jane LaCroix, Christopher Chambers, Jane Omrod, and Gina Yates. Log in now.
To kick us off,
you got to get out of there because it's my turn.
That's
all right.
right.
It's my turn to shine.
Right.
All right.
At least I put comments on yours.
Thanks a lot. I didn't put any on yours?
No.
Sorry. Okay, I'm reading this thing from years ago, a moment of years ago. A very inconsequential moment in the bar business, but I made a good business out of it. I made a better business out of it as a writer than a bartender or a liver in the real world, a person who had to exist in the real world. It's just a better place here on the page than it was living it. So that's what we can do, right? Rotate the fish. I was only working weekends, so my wife's "I'm pregnant" was the perfect time to show responsibility. I called on this guy by the name of Nil Feast, who wound up giving me 2 nights starting the following Tuesday. I achieved my goal with such swiftness that my wife now felt we had a future. Other than that, I tended bar and a clip joint. My partner was Bernie, a stand-up all-around fine-cut gem who hated the boss as much as I did. Regardless of whether or who was president, I'd always find Bernie leaning on the back bar, chewing a cheap cigar, and following the race results over the phone. Friday, after the 6th race, I told him about my new job. Bernie spit out his cigar and reared back cursing, "You're working for Nil Feast? Fuck that miserable cocksucker. He screwed over my 2 pals, Manny Gordon and Jimmy DeLilla." He dialed the phone and lit a new cigar, advising me softly, "Keep an eye on him, kid." Watching Bernie tear up the losers aroused my iron code of honor. Bernie was a sweetheart, and whatever he said went a page of concrete in my book. So if he said Nil Feast was a cocksucker, then by God, Nil Feast was. It was time to walk tall and do right by a friend. I called it to myself right there that if Nil Feast uttered 1 half word wrong, I'd be out the door before the little prick took his next breath. The following Tuesday, I stood behind an empty bar wearing a bright green apron. The place was a Cajun motif, whatever the hell that meant. When the night manager handed me the bank, his trembling voice said, "Mr. Feast will be in soon." I primed myself for combat. After 2 coffees and 3 Cokes, me and 20 stools saw action. A fair to midlife couple on a business tryst plunged in and started loin pawing. For our happy hour presentation, the chef brought out plates of fish, deep fried and blackened to stimulate thirst. I put a plate before the happy couple, but their hands remained occupied. Indifferently, I set down the other plates in front of empty stools, thinking, what the fuck? Let's have a 7-Up when the boss walked in right at me, head twitching. Nilfies combined 3 words. Rotate the fish. Fuck Audie Murphy and fucking John Wayne and motherfucking Gunga Din. I was out the door, apron off, in 3 tall steps. I strolled into the first bar flashing a V sign. On the home front, my act of valiance received an antonym of enthusiasm. I hid in the kitchen for 3 days, most likely reading Celine. Friday night after the 6th race, I relived each pivotal moment with Bernie. He pulled at his cigar laughing, rotate the fish, ha ha. He really said that, ha ha. Nice work, kid. Wait, here's the 7. Bernie didn't win the 7. And other than that, there is no, was it worth it? Is it worth it now? It's worth it creating a better place than the past. All right, so Kat's coming back, and we're going to start part
Peter,
7.
Carlton.
I think everybody's here. Woo! Where's Chris Chambers? Where is he? Okay, so who's first? We got Andre. Come up with us. Hey. What a guy.
Right.
Andre Rescue.
You look great, both of you. Peter, you look like Montesquieu.
That's me. That's me.
That's it. Some of the 3 Musketeers, man, with the long hair and very frank.
January 21, I'll look different, but I'm waiting. Each hair is a tendril of change. You know, I'm just believing in it.
Oh, you're sensitive dude, man.
All right, so we're gonna leave it. We're gonna hand it over to you, Andre. Take it on.
Okay, I'm going to read statues. Tearing down statues has always been my favorite way to teach and learn history. Dude stood in the square since I was born, identified by name and dates in pigeon shed. This was a guy on horse in my hometown in Transylvania. I used to sit under to read. Turns out that when he was alive, he hated Jews and banned all books not written by Catholics. No, it wasn't Hitler. Even at 10, I knew that. It was a governor, a man of refined taste and an inventor. Among his known inventions was the wheel rack he designed for the leader of a peasant revolt. A fine mechanism that crushed all the bones before the man expired. There is a statue of the peasant, too, put up after First World War in another square, a lover of music and of women. The Baron's parties were famous and painted by traveling Dutch masters. His palace across from the statue was full of fancy clocks and stoves. The big hand of one pointed hours made of diamonds and minutes made of rubies. Time shined when he checked it. Time was something then, not for plebes. In the fierce mountain winters, his stoves gave pleasant heat to the vast library of leather-bound tomes by heavies like Luther, and displayed one of the Bibles printed by Johannes Gutenberg, one of the few copies extant, one being inscribed by Wilhelm Grimm of the Grimm brothers. The child I was read under his bronze shadow Around the Earth in 80 Days by Jules Verne, a cheap paperback. In the summer, the statue was cool like a church, and I liked the pigeons carrying on the top of his head, covered in shit that nobody bothered to wash off. Days were long back then, and hours infinite. In 1989, 5 centuries after the Baron ruled, I helped the mob pull him down to melt for copper. I was 18, and the revolution got the goods on my summer shelter. More?
Yeah.
Yay, Andre! Right, way to go. We're gonna move on, Andre. But you're
okay. Good.
Wonderful.
Because I don't think I can hold it anymore. It seems like these hula dancers got in there, man. They're in the room.
It's the same thing. It's the same motion.
It's the rotating bar.
We can't. You know, we're so enamored with ourselves because we've got a higher up that's so enamored with himself that we can't but be repetitive in motion. I understand
right.
what you're talking about.
I don't-
But we're
not
going to
sure what you're talking about, but I believe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
Sounds
I'll
great.
be at the end of this evening of this particular broadcast. Hang on if you want.
Yeah.
And if you want to join us for the after party, we would be so happy to have you. So
Okay.
okay. All right. So here's Kat and I, and we do have a book giveaway.
Hey!
Where is it? Book giveaway. There
Book
it
giveaway,
is.
book giveaway.
This is a coming attraction for Three Rooms Press. Narcissus Nobody.
What a
Gina Yates,
beautiful
a great
cover,
novel. I should
beautiful
bring up
story.
Mary back to explain it, but it's okay. Our next
We are
reader
so
is
excited to have this book in our as part of our press. It's a gorgeous story of a woman.
and
named
the
Hope
author is
Townsend.
coming up now.
She's coming up, so we're gonna hear
Whoever's
her read.
first, whoever the first person.
Welcome
to,
from Albuquerque, Gina Yates.
Yay!
Look at it.
Hi guys! Hey! Hey! So, oh my gosh, there are a lot of really tough acts to follow here, including you two.
No, not on this night. Nobody's tough to follow. You're golden. It's your.
So, you guys, I have a terrible echo. I hope, can you hear me okay?
I'm gonna get rid of
the winner.
Can you hear me? All right. Well, I have this weird echo thing going on. I'm broadcasting from this funky little shed behind my house.
Turn down your.
All right. Well, hey, got some technical difficulties here a little bit, but hey, the show must go on. So, all right, let's do this. So great to be here. I'm Gina, and this is Narcissus Nobody. And the scene that I'm going to be reading is a telephone conversation between the main character, Hope, and her younger brother, Asher, who is a lovable ex-con. And Asher is telling Hope all about this sort of kooky, medieval-themed wedding at which he was the best man. So this is Asher talking. I actually thought the idea was pretty cool at first. Jesse's woman riding in on a white horse, all this crazy harp music playing and shit. It was like all of a sudden everyone was on acid or something. But then they had a bunch of people get up and read poetry and stuff. After about 20 minutes or so, I was like, okay, guys, we get it. I hate it when they drag out the ceremony, Hope concurred, blowing steam from her teacup. And I hate it when people write their own vows, too. It's like, come on. No one needs to hear you list all the million ways you plan to be perfect doormats forever. Don't even get me started on the vows, Asher said. When the priest, or whatever she was, the lady with the long gray dreadlocks, said something about rings, I was like, finally. And then she starts in with a do you, Jesse, take blah, blah, blah. And they both said I do, so I'm like, cool, we're done. But then she turns to me, like I'm supposed to say something, and I'm like, oh shit, what's my line? She makes me repeat this long spiel about how I'll keep Jesse on the straight and narrow. Oh, barf. Yeah. Then she made everyone in the audience stand up and vow to support their union and shit. It was insane. Oh, God. Well, how was the reception? Did they feed you well, at least? A jumble of voices started greeting each other in the background. Hope guessed someone in the Diaz family must have just walked in, and the rest of the harrowing wedding tale would have to wait for now. A few seconds of chaos passed before Asher returned, sounding stifled, and the background music abruptly ceased. Hope, can I call you back in a bit? Sure. He called back minutes later from a noisy payphone and began to fill her in on the most pathetic damn reception in wedding history. So, what kind of food did they serve? You wouldn't believe it. Chips and motherfucking salsa. That's all? Basically. No guacamole? There was one bowl of guacamole and one bowl of bean dip and a couple plates of crackers and what else? Oh yeah, pickles. Lots and lots of pickles. Sounds kind of good, actually, Hope chuckled. What else did they do? What else, he said, pausing before startling her with a loud, "Oh!" when he remembered the story's crowning touch. So you know that thing where everyone lines up and congratulates the couple? Well, I go up there and I'm shaking Jesse's hand, and he's holding it longer than normal, which is kind of weird. Then his eyes get all serious, and he goes, "Thank you for bearing witness." I was like, what the fuck happened to you, bro? You said that to him? No, I just thought it. But right when I was about to give up on homie, he leans in my ear and he goes, "Dude, I have never needed a beer so bad in my life." So as soon as the line ended, we went back to the camper and got really shit-faced. Uh-oh. What did the bride think of that? She was not impressed. She's quite pissed at me right now, in fact. But I think that's more because me and Jesse decided we're going to start a band together. Sounds fun, Hope said, remembering how Jesse and Asher, who possessed not an ounce of musical background between them, used to constantly declare the same intention back in high school. What kind of a band? A punk band, Asher said, his sarcastic tone implying she should have known this. Cool. Do you guys have a name yet? She thought the name should have something to do with dinosaurs. Yeah, we do. What is it? Ape shit. Ooh, nice. I like it. And that's the scene, folks. Peace out.
Hey,
thank you.
It's so nice to meet you face to face, but also knowing that you're our kind of people.
Yeah.
You know, you're our kind of people. That's wonderful. You know.
Yes, I'm so stoked to be part of this awesome group. Thank you so much. It's so cool. I'm watching it. I'm like, I'm with these people. It's so fun.
You are. You belong. Believe
so
me.
exciting.
Everyone here and everyone from before knows that. So it's
All
we know that.
right.
So,
So
hang in there for a minute.
Yeah.
We're going to move forward.
Yeah, we'll bring it back up a little
We'll bring it back up before we close. And then
I have this terrible.
I know
I
it's
know.
okay. It's okay. We'll talk about it later.
Well, join
Don't
us for
worry.
the after party.
Yeah, the echo. But I'll see you in a minute. To say
Yeah.
goodbye.
All right.
All right.
And
Please
now-
welcome to the stage, to the live stream stage, Jane Omeron. Are you up?
Hey. Good to be here.
All right.
Nice to see ya.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to turn the stage over to you and save our mutual admiration society for the after party.
All right.
Bring it on, man. Bring it on to the people.
Okay, one poem. Searching for water. Starring the way I arrived, the child, we appeared different, together turning topsy. Every boat, it seemed, was wrong, and the cold we suffered. Some of us have always been mothers. The inherited ceramic marigolds, papers and porters, cherubs at number 50, clouds, chestnuts, the end of frog line, curtain nets, papier-mâché. Wells to wish, then flush our dreams and show our prejudice. We cannot always hold others to the flame. Oh, so pretty. They cry, oh, aren't we pretty, pretty every morning, each as pretty as junket, pinkest junket, pretty as Christmas, discipline. Morning time 11s, and futility is heavy. We are all still children, and we come and we leave, gather beautiful, small, 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 small as froglings. We are little, We are courage. We are small. We are the first news, the first muse. Oh, London, aren't we pretty? I am an American child, my brother, the reptilian woman. Ah, here is the dancing room, the fours room, a little house with no bunny. The threes room, the dining room, the cook said child, the cook said whipsnade, Whitstable, Dunstable, Dungeness, the cook said Camber Sands bunny. The cook said never touch pinkness. The cook said treat your passport as slipper. Bye bye child, bye 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 bye. Oh, London, we are household. We are chicken scraps, blancmange for the middle classes. Sharp as the year I was born, the middle of decade, an ocean and dog, such a tiny dog of a decade. You are a gift of fertility, the Christmas man said, and he rhymed Christmas with abortion and explained ignorance, lectured me on the BBC and the regality issues of the day, held me and called me Duchess, said my brother was the American, but he saw my dress and thrust me to the title. I was a mother, and Duchess rhymed with whiskey when he saw my skirt. And called the seasons, and people laughed because the mist is not always red, and the kisses he promised was just the BBC mispronunciation of junket. My favourite room has a coat hook. There is no record of my existence. I remain in the hole because they will look in the hole. I exist in this hole, and truth is smaller than motherland. Everyone will always gaze inside a hole, and my new mouth says, yes, I am your mother wit, the wit of dust and core light. And it is my turn on the trampoline. Finally, yes, it is my turn, my time, my yester now. The cook, I say, is smokescreen. Watch me, watch me, watch me, my mother, my lake. Watch me catch. Watch me. This is my pleasure. Thank you.
Whoa! Wow! Oh my God!
This is our pleasure too. Thank
That
you,
was
sir.
something.
We'll see at the end of this this particular.
I have 10,000 questions I want to ask you about that piece. We'll do it later.
We're squeaking
because we're lucky.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Now we're not
you.
squeaking. Okay. Thank you, Jane. All right.
So,
yeah, book giveaway. No, it's book giveaway. Yes. Book giveaway. Book giveaway. We're giving away the next reader's book. It came out this fall on 3 Rooms Press. Scavenger, a mystery by Christopher Chambers. He's probably going to read a little snippet from Scavenger.
And who will win it?
And who will win it is the first person that offers themselves to the gods on StreamYard Gods.
Yeah.
So, Chris, hello.
Hey,
welcome.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
yes, we can.
All right.
Wonderful. So good to see you, Chris.
Hey, I've always seen Peter lately, not you, Kat.
There you go. Here I am.
It's refreshing to see you.
Great to be here. He finally let me out of the closet.
I let her. I
Right.
untethered her from the computer.
Oh my
chair.
God, it's nice. All right, good to see you.
Well, we're gonna let you take on Scavenger. And,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take my limoncello shot first because I think we're supposed to be celebrating, right?
Oh, here it is.
All
I could
right.
give my recipe for caponata I was saving, but
That's
I make a mean caponata, but I haven't.
Really?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, here I'm gonna read just a page from the new novel Scavenger, and it's a bit of a Christmas story, believe it or not, but a noir Christmas story. Despite your size and color, a taxi stops for you near Half Street. The hack, a pleasant African man from the medallion pick and the name, even asks you if you are surprising a sweetheart or family on Christmas Eve. Clearly, he's not a cohort of that asshole Diallo. No, I'm headed for work, you say. Bless you, sir. God bless you. Bless all those keeping things running when the rest of us sleep on this holy night. Are you a religious man, sir? No. I ask because I go off shift soon, but I cannot be home in time to read the gospel to my babies. I don't mean harm, sir, if you say so. So I will recite to you. You do not have to listen. You aren't listening anyway. You want her to be there and to see her face when you burst in. Or you want it to be a mistake, a goose chase, a red herring. You want to run away with her and keep her safe. You want to feed her to the police, to Mr. Sugars. So many things bouncing around, cracking that jigsaw up in your brain, huh? And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. The hack pauses. Thank you, sir, for listening to me. Turn right past Missouri, then left. Cut off your headlights, then turn off the dome light. Sir, I'm not here to kill you or rob you. I'm going to pay you, then I'm getting out in the dark. Please, I humbly ask you on Christmas, sir, think about whatever you plan to do. I have. I've been thinking about this all night, and your recitation was beautiful. He takes $15, follows your instructions as he's now backing up in the blind and in the dark before he turns his headlights off, turns them back on again, peels away. And in that instant, you curse him. Random, silly, nonsensical. You don't even know this guy. This single cabbie who wanted to read to you on Christmas Eve. Yeah, because he left you alone. And alone you realize that all of this Batman and Sherlock Holmes jawing was vapor. That you got lucky with Bob's artifice. That you were mad and wanting to punish Ginges, the drug dealer. And you have no idea what you're doing now. No matter how much those pills put a spring in your step, your new peels and the Timberlands on your feet, you cleaned up with soap and water. So what? You're no gumshoe, Junior. You're still a bum, a junkie bum, cleaning up the money man's mess for $1 on Christmas Eve. That's pretty bleak for Christmas.
Good reading, my friend. I like that.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
That's a good reading.
That's a beautiful part,
I
man.
love that.
That's a holiday gift, everybody.
We'll take it. I mean, we're here together. This is our night. We've never done this on, in this virtual capacity in the past, but it's always been a special night for us, and you've added to that specialness.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Moment. So
stick
hang out with us.
around.
Stick around for a second. We got two more readers.
Okay.
And then we are going to go into the after party if you want to join us there too.
Okay.
So hang in there. I'll bring you back in a few. And we're going to bring up our next reader, Julia Watts. Yay!
Hey, y'all.
Quiver. And also we've got in the fall, we've got
a new
needlework.
novel.
So needlework
Julia
is
Watts.
coming in the fall. So this is our first real preview.
Yeah.
Of the evening.
So
And we're so
exciting.
happy to see you in Knoxville, Tennessee, right?
Yes, Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah. The COVID capital of Tennessee at this point. So
yeah, I believe that.
I'm reading from my couch.
Side. Yeah. Stay safe.
All right.
Yeah, it's huge. Hi, everybody. This is such a great reading, and I really appreciate Peter and Kat for inviting me. I'm going to read just a little bit from Quiver, I think. I should have probably picked something from Needlework, but the 5-minute limit made me nervous. So I'm going to read a bit from Quiver, which is a young adult novel about the unlikely friendship that starts between an evangelical Christian girl and her new neighbor, who is the gender fluid child of very progressive parents. So this is a little dialogue between Zoe and Libby. This part's from Zoe's point of view. Zoe is the gender fluid teen. Let's see. I toss my apple core and topple out of the hammock. There is no graceful way to get out of a hammock. I walk over to the fence to wait for Libby to notice me. There's something about her that makes her seem like she'd be easy to startle, like a shy forest creature. "Oh, hi," she says when she sees me. "Hi back." I kind of wave with my copy of Brave New World. "Are you reading that for school?" She's wearing a long-sleeved light blue floral shirt with a long denim skirt that I guess substitutes for jeans. Her brothers, I've noticed, get to wear jeans, but they're the baggy, shapeless kind that look weird on young people. Dad jeans. "Yeah, it's a novel." She could read that right off the cover, but that's still what comes out of my mouth. She leans on the fence. "We don't read fiction for homeschool, just textbooks and the Bible." My dad could make a compelling argument that the Bible is a work of fiction, but I choose not to go there. "What do you do for English class?" "Grammar, mostly." She wrinkles her nose like grammar's not her favorite thing. "My sister reads some Christian fiction." I can't imagine that's very thrilling stuff. I wonder if all the plots end with a baptism. "The only novels I've ever read are the Narnia ones," Libby says. I read those over and over." "Oh, I loved those when I was a kid. Those and The Hobbit and the Oz books." "Oh, I wasn't allowed to read the Oz books because of witchcraft," Libby says. I force myself not to roll my eyes. "Even though they kill the wicked witch?" "Yes, but there's a good witch too, and there can't be good witches. 'Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.' Exodus 22:18. "Oh, right," I say, picturing angry Christian munchkins burning Glinda at the stake. That pink hoop skirt would flame up something crazy. "But I've never heard that other book you mentioned. The Rabbit?" "The Hobbit," I say, and we both laugh. Hobbits are little short people, kind of like dwarves, but with different personalities and furry feet. The main character in the story is Bilbo Baggins. He's this hobbit who would rather stay home, but ends up getting sucked into this big adventure. J.R.R. Tolkien wrote it. He and C.S. Lewis were best friends. I've got a copy of it in my room. I'll be right back. When I get back to the fence, my brother Owen's already in the Hazlitt's yard and on the trampoline. "You can come over too," Libby says. So I shrug and climb over the fence, like I'm sure Owen did. I don't guess Libby does much fence climbing since she has to wear skirts all the time. "Here," I say, holding up my copy of The Hobbit. "You can borrow it." "Really?" She looks at it like she's afraid to touch it. "Are you sure?" "Well, I figure it's pretty safe to loan you a book. I mean, I know where you live." Libby laughs. "I guess you do, don't you?" She takes the book and studies the cover for a moment. "Thank you. I'll take good care of it." "That'll be more than I've done. It's just about read to pieces." "So are my Narnia books. I guess that means they're loved. It's like that baby doll Faith has. Its hair is one big rat's nest, and one of its eyes won't open, and its clothes are always stained with whatever Faith's been eating or drinking. But it looks so worn out because she loves it so much." "Love wears you out," I say, thinking of Hadley and what a wreck I was by the time she broke up with me. "Of course, it wouldn't be like that if the doll was a real baby," Libby said, smiling. "You can't just say, 'My baby's a mess,' because I love it so much." And I'll stop there. Thank you.
Yay!
Yay!
Julia,
Oh my God,
so
Julia,
good to
it's
see
so
you.
good.
Oh, you too.
We'll bring you right back up. And
Yeah.
if you want to come to the after party, please do.
Please come and bring
hang
your
out with
bring
us.
your family.
Bring
I'll
the family.
definitely stop.
We'll have a good
by,
time.
yeah.
All right.
All right.
See you in a minute.
Okay.
And
So
now
our final reader.
the finale, the finishing touch to the evening is Jane LaCroix.
Wow. You look like you're on you look like you're on NPR.
I miss you.
PBS.
We miss you too.
Yeah, look, I want to show you my outfit slowly.
Are you gonna take off your clothes?
Should I?
I don't know.
Probably not. You know, come on. The imagination is always so much better than reality. That's why we all have such broken hearts.
That's what Chanel thought. Oh my God.
Is funny.
Looky.
It makes a cloudy day sunny. Makes a
So here I am.
think of honey.
Yeah.
Honey.
Desire.
Think
of you. Take it away.
All right.
Whoops, I gotta take it away. All right, the night is now yours.
I'm going to take advantage of this unique format we have. It's not unique for 2020, but is unique for our world. You know, we're actually other creatures. I love the creature you are. I miss smelling your hair. I do want to hug you. Look. It's a mirror, this world we're in on our screens. I can show you things I couldn't show you before, like this big pine cone I have. You didn't know I had such a big pine cone? Do you know that I have 3 children and I'm a Boy Scout, you know, troop committee member? Now you know. This is proof I have a badge. These are my children. They're teenagers now. They're much bigger than that. But one is 13, but they're really all teenagers. I'm just taking advantage of this medium because it's different. Okay, now I'll give you a poem. This has to do with what we're doing, right? Stacked against us. Our nights apart stack up like cards between us. From the finite deck, we read the moon and strings of light reflect. We try to figure out how to play what is dealt. No matter. You take my hand, shuffle, fan, until we can lay down. Challenge, win. We will. We're going to win, you guys. Come on. I don't know if you can hear my kids talking in the background. I'm in this dark room, but it's just on the other side really bright with like a whole family chatting away. The future. This really connects to everything else that was read tonight, especially like the Obama one. I love you guys. I wish we were together. We are together, but we're always together. Time is a trick, right? That's the whole thing we're all learning. And like, what matters anyway? Where are we? What are we made of? Time. The future. We are the robots. The robots are us in the future. Perfect. Free of death. Free to choose our bodies. Tweak our genes, pick our traits, sex, indomitable strength, and capability. Downloading history, information, constant communication, instant mass broadcast, defying age. Perfection is our lifeline. We are here on this side of the rainbow staring at the picture of the black hole on the front of the newspaper, worrying about the robots and wondering about the time machine and if it could help us. The black hole is the time machine. We have access to and use it. Over and over, we choose to erase it, undo it, reject it. And this is our loop. We manifest the time machine, get it, have it, and we fail to improve anything despite its power. We render everything meaningless because imperfection is what makes meaning possible. So without imperfection, we have no desire. Nothing matters when everything is perfect. We long for meaning when nothing matters. So we decide to make things matter by erasing the time machine, making the black hole seem far away instead of right here. And that, yes, the robots take over. We are the robots, the satellites and signals, that's us. Marching to the future, making the future, that's us out there. The thing about time machines and the black hole being accessible and the other side of the rainbow and the robots taking over is, it's all true. It's already happened. Look at what technology has made possible. We have new problems now. Thanks, kids. Here's another poem. White lace. I long to wear the cool white lace that surrounds me when I'm with you, submerged in the trim of your edges, leading to your cold, dark depths. Your shifting bottom I fathom in dreams. I can never know all of you. Your mystery will always seduce me. You wake the mythical creature in me, not bound by the same laws of time. We cannot always be together. Mortals are subject to seasons and promises, our wishes that can't come true, apologies from the future we try to abate, but there's no stopping the waves. Their crashing is what makes the lace. They are so loud to drown the promises, so that they can wrap you here in this cool white lace, salt and glittering, bubbles, foam, the hissing between, the sets, the tide sends. So something that's really been helping me is psychedelics. I've been experimenting with the doors of perception. This is a true story. I feel recharged from plugging into Mother Nature, bathing in her divine math. The veil of perception lifted, revealing the web structure. I heard the music trembling from the strands of connectivity, the map of the nervous system echoing in fractal patterns all around, receiving messages whispered from all around. You, there with me, pointing out the steps in the landscape carved in the Mayan tradition, humanity's hand of earth that shapes the earth. The stars winked open a rainbow of colors and gathered around us, looking upon them, watching us. Awe, curiosity, and peace in all the complexity, choreographing us through the night with its music and fire and wet grass. All led to that big bed with buttery sheets where we made love and slept in each other's arms, dreaming. Yellow leaves on the trees greeted us in the morning. From out the small square windows where we woke together in that sweet old room. From where we descended the creaky stairs to search for coffee and find some and drink it together in the crisp morning light, cozied in each other's arms, watching the turkey vultures gather in the high naked treetops like a coven of witches, while fat red cardinals flitted about on bushes with delicate branches where dewdrops clung like jewels. We are folded into the gorgeous decorated gowns of the earth, dripping with color and riches, so we may be each other's witnesses and share the mystery of time. We will always be there on that little bench seat on that November morning, that only hours before we could not even name the day and the height of our ecstasy. The number escaping us as we swam in the greater math is evidence the calendar is not the only story that writes us in the ledger of the universe. In multiple expressions of existence, we are making love, and we make it still. Okay, I'm going to read just a couple more because I want to go to the party, right?
More?
You want more? I'm going to read. I do. I want to read.
After party.
I'm going to read one more, then we can go to the after party, okay?
Okay.
Bare your heart. We have mouths to kiss and sing and eat. Thank you for your songs that feed me melodies that unbutton my shirt and bare my heart. The heart, a button passed through the mouth to fasten by ear and skin another chest. Hear the beating, whooshing pulse. The breathing rhythms clasp, bodies catch, slip through to mix and match. We make love a symphony we attach.
That's it. We attach.
We attach.
Boy, here's the last part of Jane and Julia and Jane and Chris. And thank you so much for coming with us, all of you guys, everybody from the past. Somebody's rocking out. It doesn't matter. Who is that?
us.
It might be us.
There you go. There's Gina.
It's Gina. It's got to,
Gina's back.
it's got to be Gina.
Yay, Gina. All right, put her up there. Let's go. Right, and we'll see you. Thank you all for coming tonight to our party. Hey,
it's Gina, Gina, James, Recruiter. Come to the after party on Zoom. And it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And everybody out there in the world, thank you for joining us.
We're cutting out now, ending the broadcast now. Goodbye.
So I'm ending.